أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين أبي القاسم محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين صلوات الله. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the merciful, praise be on Allah, the Lord of the worlds, and blessings be sent on Prophet Muhammad and his pure progeny. Please give us salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wa ja'alna minhum a'immatan yahduna bi amrina lamma sabaru wa kanu bi ayatina yuqinun. And we made from them imams, leaders, guiding by our command when they were patient, and to our signs they were sure. Alhamdulillah, we're getting close to the end of the month, blessed month of Rajab, and we had in this month the birthdays of several of the imams, and of course the father of the imams, Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. So in this speech we're going to try to do two things. One is we are going to try to, it's a little bit deep, but we're going to try to talk about some of the fadail of Amir al-Mu'mineen, because we have some of the younger brothers here, some of the younger sisters who may not know this whole story. It's extremely important, and there is a lot of blessings and barakah in recounting the fadail of Amir al-Mu'mineen. The other part that we're going to try to do is talk about the general sort of overview of the role of the earlier imams, which we talked about, which were born in this month, and then also some of the later imams, which were also born in this month. So first we're going to talk about Ali ibn Abi Talib. Please give us salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So Ali, his father was known as Abu Talib, and his mother was Fatima, the daughter of Asad, who was the daughter of Hashim. His grandfather was Abdul Muttalib, also the son of Hashim. So his mother and father were related, they were cousins as it comes down. And Hashim was the son of Abdul Manaf, who was one of the greatest chiefs of the tribe of Quraysh. And this tribe itself, the tribe of the Quraysh, which is also the tribe of Prophet Muhammad, is descended from Prophet Ismail. And Prophet Ismail is the descendant of Prophet Ibrahim. Now the story is all going to tie together in that Prophet Ibrahim is not from what's now known as Saudi Arabia. Does anyone know where he's from? In Iraq, close to Basra. That's where the city of Prophet Ibrahim is. And he went through many trials there, trying to call the people towards monotheism, the worship of one God. And after all the trials and tribulations, they threw him into a fire, they tried to kill him, this, that, and the other. He left and traveled. So he was the person who established the sunnah of calling for monotheism, and also the sunnah of hijrah. He also established the sunnah of jihad. And after he did all of these things, he did not have a child. So his wife was a very pious woman, and she had a slave girl. She had an African slave girl. and she asked her husband, she said, Allah has given me the blessing of being able to be pregnant, but inshallah, Allah will give you a son with your slave girl. And this was also a very religious person. So the girl herself was very religious. So she had a child she married Prophet Ibrahim and had a child with him. And then after he had this son, Allah ordered him, not kick her out, this is the, take her and put her someplace far, put her in the middle of the desert. That's the order of Allah. So he took his wife, his beloved wife, and his beloved child at the end of his life. He's not going to get another chance at this. And he sent him down. He sent his wife and his child into a valley with no water. Left them with a bag of water and said, Allah has ordered you guys to stay here until he sends his Farouk. And so Prophet Ibrahim went back. So she sat there and she waited until her supplies ran out. And this is why the city of Mecca is called, in the Quran they call it Becca, which means buqa, means from crying. And then, so she cried out to her Lord. She ran between the two hills, trying to look for somebody to come to her, and her son kicked the ground, and a spring came up from his feet. And then when she saw the water, she was running back and forth, and she saw the birds circling, and then she ran to see what they were circling, and they were coming for the water. So then she said, she said Zamzam, which is in her language means stop, stop. And the water was bubbling up so fiercely that she said that, and that's where it got the name from. Then Prophet Ibrahim later came back as word by Allah. Other people also started coming and she was the owner of that well, and so when people asked who's the owner of the well, she said, I am. And so then they said, well, can you give us some of the water? And she said, yes, in exchange for the protection. So the people that tribe there stayed and using the water that she owned. Later, so the son was saved miraculously one time. So the Prophet Ibrahim came back there later, and this time his son got bigger. So now his son was able to survive. All stories in the Bible is interesting. It's in the Bible. They tell it this order, so it's kind of hard to find the bits and pieces, but if you read it, it's there. So Prophet Ibrahim comes back, and then Allah says, Lamma balaga alayhi ma'ahu sa'a, means that when he was old enough to walk with him, meaning he's in his teenage years, Allah now ordered him, kill the child. Make a sacrifice. So now again the wife was patient again, and the son was patient again. And Prophet Ibrahim tried to sacrifice his son, and Allah saved him. And then, after doing all this, Allah said to Ibrahim, Inni ja'aluka lin-nasi imama, that I am making you to the people an imam, a leader, my representative. That now with my commands, they're going to have to look at you as their example. And Prophet Ibrahim said, وَمِن ذُرِّيَّتِي, and from my children, Allah said, لَا يَنَالَ الْأَحْدِ الظَّالِمِينَ. My promise doesn't reach to the oppressors, meaning my promise reaches to everyone else. The righteous, the mu'minin. And Allah's talking about oppressors, He's not talking about, He's meaning that oppressors, maybe they don't oppress themselves, meaning the ma'sumin from your zurriyat, from your children, are going to be imams and leaders, and they're going to be the people. I want other people to follow their example. And Allah, of course, as we know the story, Allah saw the patience and the sabr of Sarah as well, besides allowing her husband to do all of these things, and Allah blessed her with a son now in her old age. And this is where we have the lineage of Ishaq, that he's the younger brother of Ismail. But the initial promise was to Ismail and his zurriyat. And the reason I tell this is because that's where Abdulghani, he is one of the descendants from the sons of Ismail. And Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam is from that lineage. And all his grandfathers before him were all the awsiya of the Prophet Ismail. So they were not prophets. They did not bring a new risala. They didn't bring a new message. However, they held the message of Ismail in monotheism. They kept it alive and practiced it properly. There always has to be on the earth somebody who's practicing the religion that Allah, as He sees fit, has to be one. There can't be that there's no righteous person on the earth practicing the religion in a complete manner. Why? Why? You say, well, because then at any time, any of us could say, well, there was nobody doing it, so I have. The reason I was not doing this halal and haram, well, why didn't you fast? Well, it was too hard. There was nobody doing it at the time. And then it can be approved. I can say, well, look, out of all of these 1 billion people, not one was able to do it. What's judgment? Right? If I said, no, not even today, on this day, it was literally too hard. Not one person had the knowledge and the tawfiq and everything combined in him to do it. So that's one of them. Besides, there's others. There's a lot of others, like for instance, that Allah says, Khalifa and stuff like that. So Allah's saying that this is a pattern. He's making the world so that it can be. But one of the reasons is that there has to be a person who's carrying out His command in its fullest, as Allah wishes it to be carried out. And so, these people in this lineage now were given this type of authority, that they were the representatives of the prophets before him. And Abdul Muttalib actually rediscovered the well of Zamzam. He dug it. It was lost to people for a time, and then Allah gave him wahi and explained to him where it is. And so he redug the well of Zamzam after it had been lost. This was a huge proof to the people of his greatness. And then he had sons after him, and the son that was his wasi after him was not the oldest, or nor was it the richest. It was Abu Talib, the one that he trusted with. And how do we know? Say, well, how do we know that Abu Talib was the wasi of Abdul Muttalib? Because he entrusted him with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Please give us salawat. That he entrusted that Prophet Muhammad should stay with this person. So you're not going to make as your wasi and give your prized possession. The thing that of everything that you leave behind, you want to preserve the message of your father Ibrahim. You're going to have your grandson be protected by your wasi. You're not going to pick a random guy from out of. You need someone who's trustworthy. You need someone who's brave. You need someone who's generous. Even he picked it. There was other ones who had more money. They had more this. They had more that. But they didn't have the kindness and mercy and love for the Prophet that Abu Talib had. That Abu Talib and his wife Fatima were such that they put Prophet Muhammad ahead of their own children. They would go hungry and make sure that Prophet Muhammad would eat. So they put everything they had into the sort of mother of Amir al-Mu'mineen and his father. They raised Prophet Muhammad in their house while he was younger. And they said that Abu Talib was always with the Prophet except when he would do his travels. And then a few times he took Prophet Muhammad even with him to Syria. Now, Prophet Muhammad returned the favor later, and he himself raised Amir al-Mu'mineen. So when he got older and he was able to, he took Amir al-Mu'mineen and he raised him in his house. So first so this just shows how close they were to each other, meaning his father raised him, so in that manner they're sort of like brothers, but then he raised Amir al-Mu'mineen in his house. So in that way they're sort of almost like father and son, so kind of as close as two human beings can do. So they were literally cousins, and also as if they're brothers, and then also sort of a father-son relationship, because he's his older cousin. He raised him from the time that he was small in his house, and that he spent like that. He was the first person to see Amir al-Mu'mineen, besides his mother. So does anyone know where Amir al-Mu'mineen was born in the city of Mecca. He was literally born inside the Kaaba, that no other human being before or since has been born. It's one of the great things and the signs of greatness of Amir al-Mu'mineen that he was born here in the Kaaba. I was talking to one of the sheikhs, and they said that all of the prophets, they had different miracles. And so you would have, like, the stick of Musa or something like this, or another camel. One would have the she camel or something, and that would be a sign of solid, or the Safina to Nuh or something like that, or the beauty of Prophet Yusuf, or that he Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. You had the miracles of Prophet Yusha bin Nun, who brought back the sun. You had Prophet Isa, who would touch people and heal them. You have different types of, all of the different prophets had different types of large miracles like this. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't have any of these sort of. He had a few. There was a few instances here and there. But that he had one main, firm, well-known miracle like this, he didn't have. He had the Quran. Very interesting. Very beautiful miracle. Several reasons. Different than the other miracles. One, the Quran remained. It's not like the other one. The people who saw yes, it's true, the Safina, they have something that's petrified, it's a mountain somewhere. But it doesn't, you can't read it or talk it or something like that. It's a source of guidance. It can't be replicated. It continues. The challenge of the Quran continues. That someone he said, bring a book like it. It didn't say bring a book like it today, tomorrow, in the lifetime of the Prophet. It's still open. We have all things, we have the internet, we have everything, we have Arabs and Turks and Persians and everybody. Anytime anybody says, you know what, I'm going to debunk Islam today. You Muslims have gone too far with your nonsense. Doing terrorism, making up groups like ISIS. I want to debunk you guys today and end it all. Okay, bring the Quran. Yeah, TV Surah, not even the whole thing. You say, that's too hard. The Quran, the whole Quran. Too hard for you. Okay. Give us something like Surah Asr. MashaAllah, give us Surah Asr and we will all be saying, okay, done. They don't even try. They don't try. Meaning, like, if it was that easy, okay, maybe at his time he was some sort of mad genius and he tricked the other Arabs and he made some surah that the Arabs couldn't figure out. They were dumb at the time, they were, they were doing whatever. Now, it's okay, it's been 1,000 years. You've seen the Quran, it's easier to replicate something that you've seen, correct? Meaning, like, it's one thing if I've never seen an iPhone, but after it's invented, now I just have to imitate it. Okay, bring us Surah Asr. They can't do it. But the Prophet had another miracle which he also left. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. Bring another person like Amir al-Mu'mineen. Say, okay, it's too hard. The trickery is, the sihr or whatever is too much. The magic is too much. Okay. We said, at least you can prove Shiism wrong. You can't prove Islam. I mean, here we go, just prove Shiism wrong. Yet this is another. You had 1,000 years. You have 1 billion Muslims. You can't bring one. The Al-Rasul, bring us one. We'll stop being here today. We'll go and do the other one. Bring us one. I'll say even bring one of the sifat of Amir al-Mu'mineen. I'll make it easy. One of the sifat of Amir al-Mu'mineen. somebody like that. They were saying that, it's hard to know where to start and stop. I had someone challenge me over this the other day. And they said that, where did you get this idea of the Prophet after him is 12 Imams? I said, it's in your books. In the Sunni books, if you go in the Sunni book, there's an Ithna Ashara Khalifa, kulluhum min Quraysh. They don't say Bani, some of them say Bani Hashim, and sometimes they say even by name. The actual hadith, the Prophet said them by name. And he was asked, and they said him by name, but the people, because of political ramifications, changed the hadith. The Rawi themselves were scared and didn't say, it should be Hassan and Hussein. Because in the Shia books, they say the names. So in the Sunni books, the people do ihtiyat and say kulluhum min Quraysh, that there should be 12 people. And it's in the Sunni, it's a well-known hadith. He said, I don't think so. I said, it's in your book, it says it's Sahih. And then I said the ayah which I just said, وَجَعَلْنَاهُمْ أَئِمَّةً يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا. This is talking about the children of Ishaq. That we made from them imams. Use the literal word imam. We made from them imams guided by our command. Not that they were shura, not that they took them by force, that Allah chose people from them to guide by His command. No, it's talking about Ishaq. This is the Imtal of the Yahud wa Ghayr. So the children of Ishaq, we have the example. After them, they had the Ithna Ashar al-Naqiq from Musa, stuff like that. So we made them. So Allah chose Musa, Allah chose Isa, Allah chose Yahya, and He gave them prophets. So now we are saying the same is now happening for the other Ismail. That from them, it even uses the word, there should be 12 in the Bible, it says that. In the Bible, it actually uses that he should have 12, it says 12 princes is how they translate it into English. But that he will have also 12 sons. So we say, then I said, we said, what about Hadith al-Hadith? So wherever I'm his master, then Ali is his master. They said, well, you know what? Because if you understand it in this way and that way, and I'm like, yeah, it's a wide word. Arabic, that's the thing about Arabic, is it can have more than one meaning. But Mawla, if you ask any Arab, the first thing that comes to their mind is the meaning of master. The other meanings, you need dalil to go to that meaning. If you have proof, if there's some sort of ishara in the sentence, then you can go to that the meaning of the word Mawla is something else. But if you just say it and you don't give any context, the first meaning that comes to your mind is that. They said, well, that's not really clear. I said, when the Prophet started his message, he said, any one of you, talking to his tribe, he said, whenever a prophet started a message, he would have a brother from his family, waziran min ahli, who would be my brother and my wasi wa khalifati minkum, that he's going to be my brother and my wasi, he's going to carry out my commands, and he's going to be my representative amongst them. And then all of them started laughing, examples. And Amir al-Mu'mineen, he raised his hand and said, I'll be your brother. 13 years old. He said, I'll be your brother. Then he said, sit down. He asked him again. They laughed there again. He asked him again. He laughed. So finally he said, this is my brother. And it's in the Sunni books. I remember reading it when I was small. هذا أخي ووسيء وخليفتي فيكم. أطيعوه واسمعوا. Obey him and listen to him. Then they laughed at Abu Talib. Now she actually, the person was going back and forth with me, she wrote down, she's laughing. I said, that's the exact same response that Abu Lahab gave. She didn't answer back. So they laughed, they said, laughed at Abu Talib, they said, your nephew has ordered you to obey your son. And they thought that was funny. But going back to the miracles of Amir al-Mu'mineen, I said that he was a miracle. Sorry for getting off the track. Please give us salawat. This is one. You say it's a miracle. And I like it because it's like the Quran. It's an intellectual miracle. The Quran is an intellectual miracle. That's one of the best things about it. It's not like the other ones are sort of brute force miracles. You come in, you throw down the stick, it becomes a snake, boom. You accept or not accept. That's a brute force miracle. You know? Any bisawat falah can understand it. Any farmer or whatever, he says, oh, alhamdulillah. But the Quran requires you to use your mind and think about it to understand that it's a miracle. So that's something. So this is a miracle. People say, how's a miracle? That the Prophet wanted to escape from Mecca when the people wanted to kill him. He used a normal miracle to escape. They had his house surrounded. He said a dua and they were blinded and he escaped. But he told Amir al-Mu'mineen, sleep in my bed. So that if they want to come, they see somebody sleeping there, they won't realize that I left. Okay? So Amir al-Mu'mineen said, mashallah, he went and he slept in the bed. Now, this is why I say this is a miracle. If you know that people are going to come to that house and kill the guy there, and this is 1,000 years ago, so they're not going to come, turn on the lights, you know, ask you to knock on the door. They're going to come and just throw spears, rocks, whatever, and kill whoever's in the bed. They're not going to go check get your DNA, okay, make sure, confirm. They're going to kill whoever's there. He said, sleep in my bed. Now, we like to believe as mu'mineen, firm mu'mineen, that we would sleep in the bed of the Prophet if he asked us to. Inshallah we would. Let's give ourselves some credit. Please give us salawat. That all of us, if asked to save the Prophet, we would sleep in the Prophet's bed. Right? Inshallah. Or lay in his bed, to be more accurate. Would we sleep? Adrenaline. You know whoever's going to be in this bed is going to be killed. You might sit there, alhamdulillah, hold yourself together and not move while waiting for certain death. But you're not going to be asleep. Said Amir al-Mu'mineen was asleep. How do we know he was asleep? They said when they charged him into the room, they said they woke him up. The hadith, they charged him to the room, they said, well, wait until 20, we're going to come in the room and kill him to make sure we get the right guys. So they charged him in the room, spears and swords ready, and then Amir al-Mu'mineen said, Subhanallah. I don't know if that's his word, but he woke up. So he woke up when they came into the room. And they said, where is Muhammad? This is the second miracle. He said, did you give him to me that I have to give him back to you? This is Shuja. So he didn't have weapons or arms or armor. They come in an armed gang. One member of each tribe. Their roughest, toughest person. And he's half asleep, half awake. And he still gave them a sharp answer. This is the akhlaq answer. This is pure bravery. He didn't, his heart didn't shake for a minute. It wasn't bravado. And he's a young man, very young man. Please give us a That was an example of the bravery. Besides that every single battle that the Prophet fought, he would send Amir al-Mu'mineen first. Every battle that he would fight. But this is the thing. Sometimes these warriors, even just normally, they get what you call like PTSD, they get shell-shocked from being sent out into battle after battle after battle. They become hard-hearted, seeing bloodshed, seeing fighting. They said Amir al-Mu'mineen was extremely kind to women and orphans and powerless people. Sometimes a person who, even he's a warrior or whatnot, he can control himself when he's around big shots, other warriors, other people who he has something to gain from. But when you're around children and women and kids and slaves, and then you show off that you're a brutal person. You grab your slave by the neck, somebody doesn't do this, somebody doesn't do that, you throw them on the ground, you take advantage, you beat up women, you do all of this, you can let all of this ferocity out of your heart. How do we know that Amir al-Mu'mineen was kind with his women, slaves, orphans, things like that? So many different examples, but this is one that I think this is one that's nice. They said that Amir al-Mu'mineen, he used to, and whenever his clothes would get old, he would just sew them together. Because he would spend all his money in the way of Allah, so then he wouldn't spend on himself, so he would sew his clothes together. So people, Amir al-Mu'mineen, you have to do something about this. So he said, okay, so he sent his slave Tamba, he sent him to the market, the souk. He said, buy 2 shirts. He said, why I have to? He said, why need a shirt? My shirt's fine. He said, no, the Prophet said that you dress your slaves as you dress yourself. So he said, go and the cheapest one, he's been, 5 dirhams or dinars or whatever. Go to the market and he bought. So he came back with 2 shirts. Amir al-Mu'mineen took the raggedier one, the lesser one, and gave the other one to Kamba. And he said, well, why? He said, you're a young man, I'm an old man. Maybe, you're young, you want to get married, stuff like that. So he gave him the nicer of the 2 shirts to his slave. Meaning he's that much caring, not that he got his slave an outfit. Most people the slave would be in the rags patching his clothes. The slave was dressed better than him. You would know that they would come in, which one is Amir al-Mu'mineen? He said, well, that one is Amir al-Mu'mineen. So Kamba had the nice new outfit, and he took the older one. Salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. He said one time someone attacked a Christian woman living in the lands of Islam. Amir al-Mu'mineen was like, if somebody died, a Muslim died of shame, knowing that a Christian woman in the lands of Islam was attacked, then he hadn't done something wrong. Meaning he cared that much, we could show him. They killed nobody. I don't know. No, his sensitivity towards these things, towards women, towards children, making sure that all of these people were taken care of, that he would carry them things and that he used to walk and carry the food to the poor people and beggars of the city when he was in charge. And nobody knew that Shaykh used to bring them some food. And then when Amir al-Mu'mineen died and the food stopped, they realized, no, that was Amir al-Mu'mineen who was bringing the food. Then he wasn't even telling it. It wasn't like some program of the government. I don't see a program of the government that we're going to give away food and show off to everybody and cut the ribbon. No, he personally went out of his way to personally feed the poor and the weak. Salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So this was Amir al-Mu'mineen, another miracle of the Prophet. Some of the Mu'minat and Mu'mineen are getting tired, but we're going to give a quick salawat, get our energy back together. I know they're getting hungry. So please give a loud salawat. So we're going to talk a little bit about the role of the earlier imams and the later imams. And we're just going to give a brief khulasa. So one of the things that we had is after the death of the Prophet, the earlier imams, because their roles sort of had overlap. Each one had a specific mission, but you can take let's say the first 3, there's something similar in that. The first few imams, starting from Amir al-Mu'mineen, their main thing was protecting the religion itself. It had already been brought out, it had already been established, but they made sure that it didn't get destroyed after its establishment. So just like when you have a baby, okay, the first thing is that the baby needs to come out. But then in that first few weeks and months, when he's a toddler, he's an infant, he needs a certain type of protection. So they made sure that that infant in Islam made it to the next stage. So the infant in Islam made it to be a young boy. Because when the person, for a human being, the first, when he's being born is a challenge. Maybe he dies, maybe something happens, maybe he doesn't make it. But then when he's a small baby, they get sick and they die. Now, alhamdulillah, mashallah, the children tend to survive. But like that first 5 years, 10 years, a lot of times that's when, if you don't protect it, it'll die. So that the first few imams, they made sure that they protect that infant Islam and made it that, balada ma'ahu sa'i, that it made it strong, that it was with the other, that there's no chance of it zawal, that it gets completely wiped out. Now, when we looked at the later imams, it's different. They start working on a different project. That Islam is now established. The madhab, the middle imams sort of established the madhab of the Shaykh. These ones went and made sure that Shiism would survive the long haul, the later imams. They established the clergy instead of like the Zaydis were establishing jihads and things like that. They established clergy. They established homes. They protected the lineage of the Prophet. It protected the belief in the Imam Mahdi Ajmallahu Ta'ala Farzahu Sharif. So if you want to look at the Imams as a whole, these Ithna Ashra Naqiban, these 12 commanders, these Ithna Ashra Rajalan, we have Ithna Ashra Khalifa, the 12 representatives, that when you look at the first 3 Imams, when you look at that, they're establishing the parameters of Islam, protecting the infant Islam, making sure it makes it to the next generation. And then when you have the next one, now they're making it that it will last until now. That you need it to last another 1,000 years. You need to establish a clergy and make sure they're well trained. You need to establish that people have the concept of going back to the clergy. So they don't come over and then they do like the akhbar. They say, I'm going to go over, open up the book and read it myself. And so then each and every person is a mujtahid. You can't ever get everybody on the same page ever. You become extremely weak because of that. Because you can't, I think that this is right. I think it's wrong. I read the book myself too. You don't have any hierarchy. You have to establish that. Homes. Because if the religion is unfunded, it's going to collapse. Because what's going to happen? You don't fund the clergy, where they're going to go? Well, I guess we got to go to Harun Rashid. Somebody's got to keep these lights on. So we have homes. So that which is the Saham of the Imam, those ulama, they're able to protect the house of there, so that the information can go from generation to generation. You have to establish the idea of these people remembering about the Imam, the traditions, and keeping those alive and making sure that they remember who the Imams and things like that are. That the knowledge and all of that goes forward. So if you just want to break it up into those 2 portions, we can do that. So now we're just going to I think we'll finish here. Allahumma ja'al hayatana hayata Muhammadan wa ali Muhammad wa mamatana mamata Muhammadan wa ali Muhammad wa atina fid dunya ziyarata Muhammadan wa ali Muhammad wa fil akhirati shafa'ati Muhammadan wa ali Muhammad. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.